How's it going? Dave here, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining negative harmony. So you're going to learn how it works, why it works, and then I'm going to show you a couple of chord progression examples and then how to write a melody with negative harmony as well. So we're going to be using the C major scale today, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and we're going to be applying negative harmony to that. So the whole basis of negative harmony is where we take a scale and we flip it or invert it or mirror it on a particular axis, and that gives us the negative version of our scale. So let's do that right now. So we're going to take the circle of fifths. There are a few different ways of creating this axis and visualizing this whole thing, but we're going to use the circle of fifths for this because I find that it's the easiest way of visualizing it. The axis goes between our root and fifth, so between C and G, and it goes down in a diagonal direction there, as you can see. So that's our axis, and then all we have to do is mirror every single note on that axis. So we get something that looks like this. Now I'm going to explain why we use that particular axis in a little bit, but let's just get to creating the negative version of our C major scale straight away. As you can see, the C, if we mirror it on this axis, becomes G, and then the D in our C major scale becomes F, then the E in our C major scale becomes E flat, F becomes D, G becomes C, A becomes B flat, B becomes A flat. Our negative C major scale actually looks like this: G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat. These notes are the notes within the C minor scale. Now that we know what the notes are in the negative C major scale, let's work out what the negative version of all of the chords in the key of C major would be. So if you take the notes C, E, and G and create a C major chord, the negative version of that would be G, E flat, and C. You get a C minor chord. Then a D minor becomes a B flat major. E minor becomes A flat major. F becomes G minor. G becomes F minor. A minor becomes E flat major, and B diminished becomes D diminished. Now we're gonna leave that and just go on a little tangent for a second so you can understand why negative harmony works, and you will also understand why we use that particular axis that we did and not another axis like a horizontal one or something like that. So in our key, C major, in our scale, we've got stable notes and we've got active notes. So the stable notes are our root, third, and fifth. Those notes are the ones that sound at home. They sound stable, I guess. They sound nice and resolved. And then you've got the active notes, which are D, F, A, and B, and they want to move to one of these stable notes. So if we take the note, if we take our C major scale, and we take the B, for example, that wants to move up to C. If we take the A, that wants to move down to G. If we take the F, that wants to move down to E. And the D wants to move to either C or E. Now, when we turn the C major scale into the negative C major scale, or for the purposes of this, just to make it easier to understand, the C minor scale, all of the stable notes in C major get turned into all of the stable notes in C minor, and all of the active notes in C major get turned into all of the active notes in C minor, which means when we turn a chord in C major into its negative counterpart, it has the same amount of tension and pull to the tonic, C. Now, that axis that we used is the only axis that will create that result, so any other axis won't work as well. So let's put this all into practice within a chord progression. So let's take a basic chord progression in the key of C major. So C, D minor, G, C. Perfect. So first of all, let's take our G, our dominant chord, and if we turn that into the negative version, we get F minor. So now our chord progression becomes C, D minor, F minor, C. That sounds pretty awesome. Now we could also change the D minor to the negative version, and that would be B flat. So now our chord progression might sound like this: C, B flat, F minor, C. Awesome. Now let's try another chord progression. We're going to use C, A minor, F and G. A classic 1, 6, 4, 5. Now we're going to change the A minor and the F. So the A minor becomes E flat and the F becomes G minor. So altogether we have C, E flat, G minor, G major, and then back to C again. This one's a bit of a strange one, but I actually really like it. There you have it. So there's a couple of examples you can use for chord progressions. I know some of you may be thinking, well, isn't this just the same as modal mixture or modal interchange, where we just borrow chords from the parallel minor key? I can see why you're thinking that, but it's not the same, and it becomes very apparent that it's not the same when we start making melodies. And this is because there's a completely different process, of course. So if you were to create a melody in C major and you wanted to turn it into a C minor melody, you just have to flatten the third, flatten the sixth, and flatten the seventh. But when we're doing negative harmony, or we're creating a negative melody, then we are completely flipping the scale on that particular axis that we were using, and it changes the notes completely. So we're not flattening or sharpening any notes, we're just changing them to the negative version. And it creates a completely different result. So let's use this in an example. I've created a simple 4-bar melody over 4 different chords. So the 4 chords I'm using are C, D minor, G, and C. And the melody sounds like this. Fantastic. So first bar is C, second bar is D minor, third bar is G, and the fourth bar is C again. Bars 2 and 3, we've done this previously with this same chord progression. I'm going to change the D minor into B flat, and I'm going to change the G into F minor. So bars 2 and 3 have been changed. So, of course, bars 2 and 3 of my melody are going to change into the negative version. If we take a look at the notes within our melody, bars 2 and 3 consist of the notes C, B, G, D, E, F, G, and B. Now, C gets turned into G, B gets turned into A flat, G gets turned into C, and D gets turned into F. That's the second bar. Then for the third bar, E gets turned into E flat, F gets turned into D, G gets turned into C, and B gets turned into A flat. And then obviously the fourth bar is back to C major again, so the C remains the same. So altogether, if we were to listen to this melody with a mixture of C major at the beginning, and then in the middle we're using the negative C major scale, you get this awesome sound. So there you have it. That's how you use negative harmony and create a negative melody as well. A lot of stuff online makes it sound very difficult to understand, and there's actually kind of not a huge amount to negative harmony. I wouldn't say it's very, very simple, but it's not like as hard or mysterious as a lot of people make it out to be. So I hope I was able to help you understand it better. And if you did get a lot of help from this video, I would really, really appreciate it if you clicked like, and if you let me know what you thought in the comments, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell as well so that you're notified for future videos. And if you're interested in creating some really, really awesome sounding chord progressions, go down into the description. In the description is a link to the first 2 chapters of my book, which you can get for free. And those first 2 chapters cover how to write a chord progression in a particular key, which chords serve which purpose, what function each chord has, and then how you can add extensions to those chords. So 6ths, 7ths, 9ths, 11ths, 13ths. You add those to your chords to make your chord progression sound that much better. And I really think it will help you out. So go and check that out if you're interested. And I will see you in the next video. See you later.